It resets every time I get a legendary. What? Nobody would summon on this banner. Instead of re-recording this whole video, I'm going to show you my summons. I did 50 summons on this banner. This is a brand new banner. I'm going to explain the banner. I'm going to go over the hero, and then I'm going to do 50 summons thinking I'm going to get this hero guaranteed at 50 summons. Kind of like an Epic 7 banner to where you just do a certain amount of summons and you always get the brand new hero that they put out. I thought that's what these banners were like. I thought this what the game was going for, and it's apparently not. So I do 50 summons. I actually get 3 legendaries, which is insane. But everything I'm talking about and hyping this all up, it's not true. It is not true. Welcome back, everyone. Great news. We have a brand new summon event going on, and they listened to the community. They made things cheaper. I thought the rates were pretty good, man. You're getting a targeted legendary hero, but now you're going to be able to get it for much cheaper. Instead of the 80 to get it, it's only 50 now. Legendary summons until guaranteed summon 50 summons. And instead of 200, it's 180. They also increased the chance for you to get a legendary hero from the summons. From these summons right here, from 1.95 to 2.43. So even if you get a legendary, as long as you do 50 summons, you're going to get this guaranteed legendary here. It doesn't matter how many legendaries you hit on the way. So 50 instead of 80, that's 30 less summons. That's 6,000 less gems. That's over $100. It's crazy now. It only costs you 9,000. Let me look at my calculator. 180 times 50. It only costs you 9,000 crystals now to get this targeted legendary. This is very nice and different in a gacha game. You usually never see something like this. I know Epic 7 has banner summons like this all the time, and they're kind of an exception. There's a few other games that do this as well, and I love games like this because we can go after that one legendary that we want. We can save up and get that legendary, and they made it cheaper, and they made it so we can get more legendary along the way of trying to get that legendary. Everything I just said is false. They've actually made things much worse. The old way was a guaranteed chase hero at 80. You actually got that exact hero, and then you got any legendaries along the way. And it was 200 to do those summons. It was 80 to get the legendary. That's why I told all of you that this was such an amazing thing, just like Epic 7 does. But the new way, you just get a guaranteed legendary at 50, and it keeps resetting. You're going to see this later on in the video. So now it is terrible. I do not like this at all. I think they took way many steps backwards, and this is not good. Let's talk about how this guy is and why I'm not going to go after him. I just don't feel like that this is a guy I want to chase right now. He does have barriers, and I think barriers in this game are pretty cool. This means that they're not shields where they had to take a certain amount of damage before it disappears. This is actual number of hits. So he's got 2 barriers. As long as he goes up against enemies that don't do multi-hits, he can take 2 hits before he actually takes damage. Now it's only 3 times, right here, available use count 3 times because it's very strong. So he can only do it 3 times, but still it's pretty cool that he can take those hits and not take damage. Though I don't think it's enough for me to want to play this guy because I feel like this guy needs to smack, and he just doesn't. Even though he does some other really cool stuff, he needs to hit. I mean, he really needs to hit hard. Upon applying a debuff, he can extend this King of the Wild, which he applies on himself when you do his 3rd ability. And this is really what he's all about. This King of the Wild, once he has this buff on himself, when an ally attacks, there's a 50% chance that he will then attack as well. But the thing is, when he does his 3rd ability, he puts silence on himself. Upon using the 3rd ability, he'll put silence on himself for 2 turns. So then he can't do anything else, which is actually pretty good as long as he was hitting really hard. Now this ability doesn't hit crazy hard. It's an AoE. Hits kind of average 2,600 AoE damage to each individual enemy that he hits out there, which is pretty much kind of like other people. Gawain hits for around 4,100 for his AoE on each of the enemies. So this is pretty low. I think this guy should do Gawain type of damage because he cannot spam this. Once he does this, he's going to put a silence on himself for 2 turns, which means he can only do his basic ability. Yeah, he's got that buff on himself now, which is going to be really strong. Let's take him in here and show you. Could be really strong. Now, he comes to us in his fire base ability here. So for fire base ability, when he gets that King of the Wild buff on him, he's got a 50% chance now when his allies attack to be able to come in there and do an attack and a 100% chance to stun. That's good through getting through content, I guess, the stun waves, but we've only got 4 guys in a team, so it's kind of hard for me to want to play this guy and put him in a team if he's not really putting out the damage. Now, I have a feeling this ability isn't going to hit that hard. Could be wrong. If it hits crazy hard, then yeah, he'll be worth it. Even though it's a 50% chance, it's going to fire off enough. 2 turns, he's going to be silenced. He can only do his basic ability. His basic ability does decrease attack on the enemy, which is still really good. But here, it's different depending on what element you are. He comes to us at fire base. So if you're lucky enough to get his other relics, his other weapons in Frost or Storm, they do different abilities. So once he does his skill 3, he'll get King of the Wild on. If you have his Frost weapon for the Hawk, he's got a 50% chance to attack a single enemy, deals damage, attack a single enemy again, and then applies increased speed 2 to all allies. I don't know why Frost is always the most powerful ability, it seems like, in every single hero, but that is crazy strong. Increased speed 2 to your whole entire team, plus he's going to attack 2 times. That's pretty damn good, man. For 2 turns, you can just keep that rolling and rolling and rolling. You're going to have just perpetual speed 2 increase. We only get speed 1 from Claudius. This is speed 2. So if I had his Frost, I would think this would be pretty good to put in there, especially if he's doing damage because he's getting 2 attacks now whenever he follows in there. He's doing his basic ability. He's got that silence on because we had to use his skill 3 to proc this buff on him. And then he's got the silence on, so we just keep doing his basic ability. And then we keep, with his other passive, we keep extending this as long as we apply debuffs to the enemy. Or we could just do his S3 again and apply it back to him, and then he gets silenced again. Same rotation. But then if you have his wind one, he's got a 50% chance to attack, applies recovery over time to a single ally, and then 30% chance to apply a shield to that ally too for 2 turns. Now, none of these are anywhere as cool as attack speed 2 increase to all your allies. Not even close. So that one's really good. I mean, the stun's fun, man. This is a stun for 2 turns. That's really OP, especially in something like Arena. That would be really crazy. Or even going through and killing some Drakes. If you have a really hard waves to get to a boss and you need to take those down, then it could be good there. But I don't really need that. I don't think you really need that either right now. Could be really good going through the Talisman dungeons. Really good there since you're fighting, regular guys that you can actually stun. But man, that speed increase, speed 2, is going to be insane. So all in all, I think he's got a cool set, but it's nothing that I really need to go after right now. These things of doing this AoE attack, this needs to hit. Since he can't spam this needs to hit hard. Decrease attack 2 is really good to put up, but it's only for 1 turn. That's really lackluster on a legendary, but he is getting a chance to come in and attack with somebody else. But still, 1 turn, it's going to drop off very quickly. And then here he just does it for another attack decrease 2 for 2 turns. But I think his Frost one does a speed decrease 2 for 2 turns. And then he's doing a speed increase on the team. So that's what I mean. That and almost all content in the game is going to be busted. Like really, really good. Let me make sure here. Yeah. Attack speed decrease 2, 90% chance booked out, along with giving that increased speed 2 to the whole entire team, is insane. So if you wanted to go after this guy and then eventually get his Frost weapon, I think it'd be really strong. Let's just do it. Let's summon for him. Who cares? Let's just go after it. I'm going to get him now, and maybe his weapon will pop up in the summons pool. But why not? I don't have him. I want to play with him. I just don't think I'm going to use him at all as fire. I wish he came to him as Frost, but maybe one day we'll see him in here and I'll be able to get it through that. Let's see what happens. Here we go. 10 summons. All we got to do is 50, and maybe we'll get some legendaries along the way. If I could get Merlin, I would be so happy. Come on, baby. Look at that. Sigrun already. The 2.49% chance instead of the 1.95 usual chance is kicking in. Oh, we got another one? Jesus, man. All right, I'll take it. I'll take Bedivere. Let's go, baby. That's 2 legendaries out of 20. That's pretty wild. And we're getting our guaranteed at 50. Like I said, nobody can complain about this. I'm getting insane luck right now. I understand that, but it's a targeted legendary. Please do not complain. I want some weapons. That's what I want. I feel like weapons, legendary weapons, haven't been dropping that often lately, and I could use some variations of some legendary weapons. Let's go, baby. Let's hit it again. Come on. Show everybody. Give me that YouTube luck. Oh my God. Lot. I didn't even have Lot. Yo, this is insane. This is the craziest summon I've ever had. Are we at 50 yet? I think this is the 50th, right? So are we going to get him into some special outside of this summons, or is he going to be the 50th one here at the end of our summon? Like, will he be right here at the very end? He should be, right? I don't know. That was 50, wasn't it? What am I summoning on? Am I summoning on the right banner? What happened here? How am I on a... Wait a minute. How am I on how am I on 38? Summons until guaranteed. Wait, what is happening? I'm down to 3,000 gems. Hold on, let me pull out the calculator. What is going on? Come on, game. Did I think about this whole thing wrong? 50 times 180, 9,000 gems. I did 50 summons, and it's at 38. It resets every time I get a legendary. What? Nobody would summon on this banner. The banner is busted. It's not working properly. Summons until this guaranteed legendary. Wow. This thing, is this how it's supposed to work? I don't think that this is how it's supposed to work. I don't think I have an increased rate to get him. And then Guinevere a lot. Yeah, he's not even in here, right? So, no, he is in here at a 1.2% chance. Is that how this works? Legendary summons until guaranteed. I thought this was a targeted legendary. Okay, I scratch everything I said. This banner is not worth it. It's not worth it at all. I thought we were going for that specific legendary. I thought that's the whole point of these banners, just like Epic 7. So, yeah, not worth it. I had great luck, though, getting those legendaries, so I'm not going to complain. But, yeah, I don't think just because I get a little bit of an increase, a 0.5% increase, 0.5% to get a legendary at 180 summons versus the other normal summons where I can go get 2 for 1 every day. I just don't feel like it's worth it. I thought this was targeted. Oh man, what a bust. Okay guys, let me know what you think about these events down below. Appreciate your time. I'm just really sad right now. I thought we were going to get this guy and be able to play with him a little bit.